Welcome to Ramsgate and Ramsgate Station behind me. The Grade 2 listed 1926 gem of a station. Kind of the reason why I've decided to start this journey here, because Ramsgate is such a peachy little station. Where else could you start having a ride on the Javelin? So yeah, I'm looking forward to this ride. It'll be, I think, a game of two halves. We're going to start off going through the beautiful Kent countryside, through Canterbury, and then of course when we get to Ashford, a sharp right hand, and then it's high speed all the way to London St Pancras. So yeah, let's have a little go on one of these Javelin kind of high speed southeastern trains and see how it goes. Ramsgate station was built between 1924 and 1926 and is thought to have been designed by James Robb Scott, who became the chief architect at the Southern Railway. The interior of the booking hall is wonderfully preserved. From the parquet floor to the high arched windows to the wonderful old W.H. Smith's newsstand. This is a delight. The entrance to the platforms beautifully reflects the W.H. Smith newsstand at the other end of the booking hall. And adjacent to the station is the depot, which has been on this site since 1930. Ramsgate has services to St Pancras over a number of routes, including via Margate, Rochester and Gravesend, which is 78 miles and takes 1 hour 48 minutes, via Dover and Folkestone, which is 100 miles and takes 1 hour 47 minutes, and our route for today, the quickest one via Canterbury and Ashford, which is just 86 miles and takes 1 hour and 16 minutes. SouthEastern also runs classic trains from here to London Victoria and also to Charing Cross via London Bridge and Waterloo. Well, our train is due, so let's pause for a moment and have a look at today's route. We'll leave Ramsgate in a southwesterly direction through the flatlands of Thanet before we call in at Canterbury West. And then we'll continue across the Kent Downs to Ashford, where we'll take that sharp turn northwesterly and join the high-speed line. And from then on, it's full speed ahead for London, with stops on the way at Ebbsfleet and Stratford. The journey will be 138 kilometres or 86 miles and will take us 1 hour and 16 minutes. It's also worth noting that the first 30 miles to Ashford takes pretty much the same time as the final 56 miles to London. Well, that's high speed for you. And here is our train. It's a Class 395 Javelin EMU, built by Hitachi Rail between 2007 and 2009. The trains were given the Javelin title to correspond with the 2012 London Olympics, when they were used to provide the service from London to the Olympic Park at Stratford. And first impressions of the interior is that it's functional and not flashy. Well, there's some luggage racks dotted around, and it also feels very light and airy in here. Right, this airline seat should do me fine. And we're off, in time to wave goodbye to the EMU depot at Ramsgate. Right, time for a quick seat tour. Well, the legroom is okay, and the tray table, though compact, is clean and sturdy. Under the seat there's one shared 3-pin socket. There's small but functional armrests, and apart from the odd dodgy stain, the seat moquette is understated and the seat itself is very comfortable. But around the window, as befits what is really a regional train, there is no blinds, no reading lights and no coat hooks. But still, with these glass-bottomed overhead racks, the cabin and the seating looks just fine. We soon come upon Thanet Parkway, which is a new station due to be opened around May 2023. There's a ruling 70 miles per hour speed limit between here and Ashford, and soon we will meet the Great Stour River, which we will track closely as we cross the Thanet wetlands. Grove Ferry had a station of its own until it was closed in 1966. This really does look like a good place to go out mucking about on the water on a lovely day like today. And there certainly is a lot of water. Canterbury has two stations, east and west. There's been a station at Canterbury West since 1846, and discussions about combining the two stations have been ongoing since 1878. At Charlton we cross the Great Stour one more time, and then are soon running alongside it through Chilham. Ah, that's where the coat hooks are. On such a flat landscape, water towers are certainly going to have to feature. And passing under the M20 is a sign that we'll soon be at Ashford. And at Ashford we get our first sight of High Speed 1. And we arrive at Ashford, which was rebuilt and renamed Ashford International in 1996 with the coming of Eurostar. However, since the COVID epidemic, there hasn't been any international services stopping here, and I don't think there will be for some time to come. And leaving Ashford, we gingerly make our way across onto the high-speed lines, and our driver can begin to open up this Javelin. And in no time we're flying by the traffic on the motorway. The tidal River Medway looks beautiful in the setting February sun. Ebbsfleet International opened in 2007, which was 5 days after the rest of HS1, and that's because they reinstalled all the security and ticketing equipment that had been taken out of Waterloo Station. But just like Ashford, it has had no international trains since the start of the COVID pandemic, and there are still no plans to restore the service at this time. Ford has a major truck fleet compound at Dagenham and a diesel engine plant that produces 1 million engines annually. And Stratford International completes our set of stations with international in the name but no international trains. And finally we pop out at St Pancras to a lovely view of the St Pancras Basin on the Regent's Canal. And we arrive into St Pancras spot on time.
Southeastern West. This train has
That was a great little ride on the Javelin, on the Class 395s. Got up to a good pace on the high-speed line, as you'd expect, and also it was a lovely run through the Kent countryside. Probably one of the things I'd note on this particular journey is it was such like the Spanish high-speed Avalon service, where it was sort of like a slightly one step down high-speed service, but very comfortable nevertheless. The journeys don't take much more than an hour, and those seats were absolutely fine for it. The fold-down table was fine. The windows were slightly small, but you know, that was okay. And yeah, I think they were perfectly well suited to the job that they're doing. So yeah, nice one, Southeastern. I enjoyed that journey. So I'm going to make my way over to Paddington now and get myself home. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this little journey on the Southeast High Speed. But one final thing. At this eastern entrance there now appears to be a spaceship hanging, but look more closely, and the spaceship is in fact the station itself. It is actually a piece entitled HMS Alice Liddell by artist Shehzad Dawood, although I understand some people call it Euro Star Wars.
Thing going on up there.
You know what? I've only been here 2 weeks and I've never really looked at it. It just shows how we take things for granted.
If you've enjoyed the video, then give it a like and also subscribe to the channel, as I release a travel video every Friday. But for now, from St Pancras it's goodbye and thank you very much for watching.